welcome back to the deep dive. So we've gone through all the sources you sent in comparing Affinity V3 and V2.
We have.
And our mission today is pretty clear. Figure out if this 2025 upgrade is actually worth the investment for you.
Exactly. We're going to try and cut through all the, the marketing hype around feature lists.
Right.
Our job is to really isolate what's new, what actually boosts performance, and how it affects your daily work. We're here to give you the shortcut.
Okay, let's jump right in then. Core performance. The one thing that comes up again and again is that V3 just feels smoother.
It does, yeah.
That's a great feeling, but what's the technical reason behind it?
Well, it's really a fundamental change in the architecture. V3 has been, let's say, re-engineered from the ground up to use modern GPU acceleration way more effectively.
Okay, so it's talking to the hardware better.
Much better. It means things like rendering complex filters or just, scaling huge documents. All that gets offloaded from the main CPU.
Ah, and that's why it opens faster and doesn't choke on big files.
Yeah, precisely. It directly addresses that classic V2 pain point.
You mean when you hit that critical point with tons of layers or high-res images and the whole thing just grinds to a halt?
Yes, that exact moment. The sources all point out that V3 stays stable even when you're running demanding tasks on a pretty average mid-range laptop.
Which is huge. V2 sometimes felt like you needed a supercomputer just to avoid those slowdowns.
It did. That operational stability is probably one of the biggest functional upgrades, honestly.
Okay, let's switch gears a bit. Usability. If the engine's better, how do the tools themselves feel when you're actually working?
Targeted refinement is the phrase I'd use.
So not a complete overhaul. You won't get lost in a new interface.
No, not at all. The core layout is very familiar, but the tools themselves, they're just smarter, more accurate.
For instance?
The selection tools are a great example. They use these improved algorithms for masking really fine details.
Like hair or complex edges on a product shot.
Exactly. Things that used to require a ton of manual cleanup. Now you get cleaner retouching and a level of control that, frankly, V2 just couldn't match.
Now let's talk about what some sources called the biggest shift, especially for power users.
The cross-app workflow.
Yes. Moving between Photo, Designer, and Publisher. This work is really interesting for efficiency, right?
No, it's a massive time saver. In V2, moving between the apps, it worked, but it was a bit clunky.
A noticeable handoff.
A very noticeable handoff, yeah. With V3, that communication is almost seamless. You're in Publisher, you need a quick photo edit. The switch is just frictionless. It saves so many little steps.
Okay, so bringing it all together. Speed, precision, a smoother workflow. What does this actually mean for your wallet, should you upgrade?
It really creates a clear split, It all depends on your needs.
So who should stick with V2?
If you're a casual user, if you're just doing basic photo crops, simple adjustments, V2 is perfectly fine. Save your money.
And the professional.
Yeah.
The serious creator.
You should upgrade to V3. If your work involves any kind of complex retouching, if you need that high precision selection, if you're dealing with massive files, or, and this is the big one, if you rely on that multi-app workflow.
For those people, the time saved is worth the cost.
Absolutely. The speed and the stability are specifically designed to minimize friction for those high-demand users.
So to sum it up, V3 really is the version for creators who just can't afford slowdowns.
It is. And that brings me to a final thought for you to consider.
Go on.
We've talked about how V3 is praised for being stable even on hardware that struggled with V2. So the question is, how much is that reliability actually worth? The knowledge that your software won't crash when a deadline is tight.
Right.
How does that peace of mind weigh against the initial cost of a new license? That stability might just be the most valuable feature of all.